Goeienaand, good evening, fellow South Africans and citizens of the world. And just for the record, I took down that video about the Boerelichion guy being arrested over guns because it was drawn to my attention that the article was exactly 1 year old. So it was not current. So that's why it went down. It wasn't YouTube, it was me. All right, let's get back to the serious matter of the coronavirus. Now, what I've actually linked below this video is a link to a very comprehensive article talking about the coronavirus, and we'll have a look at that in a second. But this is the latest on the coronavirus. A South Korean city has gone on the offensive after 2 clusters of coronavirus cases, which have been traced to Doomsday Cult Church and a hospital, nearly tripled the number of patients in the country. The Korea Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or KCDC, said on Thursday that 53 additional patients have tested positive for COVID-19. The day before 20 new cases had been reported. There are now 104 coronavirus patients and 1 fatality in South Korea. This uptick mostly comes from 43 members of the Temple of the Tabernacle of the Testimony, a fringe religious faction in the city of Daegu, and 15 people at a hospital in Cheongjo County. The country's first coronavirus death also occurred at this hospital, according to the Washington Post. The church at the center of this outbreak is part of the Shincheonji Church of Jesus, which was established in 1984 by Lee Man-hee and counts about 200,000 South Koreans amongst its ranks. Lee claims to have taken on the mantle of Jesus Christ and purports to have the ability to save 144,000 people on Judgment Day by taking them to heaven with him, The Guardian said. Got some really interesting religious groups in South Korea, that's for sure. It's rather like India. Anyway, Park Hyung-tak, who leads the Korea Christian Heresy Research Institute, told the South China Post about the group that views itself as chosen and favored by God, that most believers accept this large cluster of cases occurring at the church as a test of their beliefs. A 61-year-old churchgoer was diagnosed with the coronavirus on Tuesday, prompting health officials to ask the church's 1,000 other followers to put themselves in quarantine. So far, South Koreans who tested positive for the illness had either traveled to mainland China or been in contact with someone who had it. It remains unknown how the woman, who has been dubbed Patient 31, contracted COVID-19. However, since the number of coronavirus patients has jumped since she became ill, with many coming from the same Korean cult, this has been considered as a super spreader event, the KCDC said to the South China Morning Post in a press release. Followers have been asked to stay at home, isolated from their families, Daegu Mayor Kwon Yong-jin said, while Jung Yun-kyung, director of the KCDC, urged people who visited from both the church and the hospital report any symptoms to officials. The church has shut its facilities across South Korea and encouraged churchgoers to partake in online prayer sessions in response to the outbreak, the South China Morning Post said. It also released a statement on Thursday decrying the barrage of criticism and defended itself against being cast as the main culprit of coronavirus transmissions, blaming those who have deemed it as a cult for the wrongful accusations. Pastor Shin Hyung-ok, an anti-temple campaigner, is not mollified. He is worried that more cases may be linked to the Temple of the Tabernacle of the Testimony because it's so-called study rooms where believers are taught the church's evangelical ways. He told the South China Morning Post their so-called harvesters go to other Christian churches, take part in prayer sessions there and engage in other activities in order to woo away ordinary believers. I doubt whether the church would come clean about the movement of its believers who are with the 31st patient and cooperate with authorities in tracing contacts for fear that it would reveal their secret evangelistic activities. This is really a worrisome situation. Now, what this is actually saying is that the coronavirus is spreading. Now, the link that I've put down below, which is really a scientific research into the virus, it says something which is really, really important. And that is that the coronavirus spreads faster in cooler weather. And what it suggests here is that the southern part of the globe, like South Africa, Australia, etc., are going to feel the full impact of the coronavirus as it starts getting colder in those parts of the world. But it's a very interesting document. It's very detailed. Please download it. It's linked directly below this video. Please remember to subscribe to be kept informed. Ring the bell for the updates. Please like this video. Please share this video. And above all, please stay safe. Bye for now.